Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunachira Vanachare Yamunachira Vanachare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamunachira Vanachare Yamunachira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunachira Vanachare Yamunachira Vanachare Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kochi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna Vaishnavas. First of all, I would like to ask you for your blessings, because for an insignificant jiva, highly conditioned like myself, it's impossible to glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam without the blessings of Vaishnavas and Krishna. Today we are reading from third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 10 and verse number 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chekara Bhagavan Rishihi Nikshreya Satyalokasya Dhanyam Swastyayanam Mahat. Grantaraja Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. Saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. Saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. Dharmasya animittasya. Dharmasya animittasya. Vipākaḥ parameṣṭhī asau. Vipākaḥ parameṣṭhī asau. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. Dharmasya animittasya. Vipākaḥ parameṣṭhī asau. Please. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. parameṣṭhī asau. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. Dharmasya animittasya. Vipākaḥ parameṣṭhī asau. Ladies, etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. Dharmasya animittasya. Etāvāñ jīva-lokasya. saṁsthā-bhedaḥ samāhṛtaḥ. etāvān, up to this, jīva-lokasya, of the planets inhabited by the living entities, saṁsthā-bhedaḥ, different situations of habitation, samāhṛtaḥ, performed completely, dharmasya, of religion, he certainly, animittasya, of causelessness, vipākaḥ, mature stage, parameṣṭhī, the highest personality in the universe, asau, that. Purport and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Brahmā is the most exalted personality in the universe because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord in mature transcendental knowledge. He is therefore created all the 14 planetary divisions for inhabitation by the different types of living entities. The Supreme Lord is the reservoir of all the qualities of the living entities. The conditioned souls in the material world reflect only part of those qualities, and therefore they are sometimes called pratibimbas. These pratibimba living entities, as parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, have inherited different proportions of His original qualities, and in terms of their inheritance of these qualities, they appear as different species of life and are accommodated in different planets according to the plan of Brahmā. Brahmā is the creator of the three worlds, namely the lower planets, called the Patāla-lokas, the middle planets called the Bhur-lokas, and the upper planets called the Svara-lokas. Still, higher planets such as Mahārloka, Tāpaloka, Satyaloka and Brahmaloka do not dissolve in the devastating water. This is because of the causeless devotional service rendered unto the Lord by their inhabitants, whose existence continues up to the end of dvi-parārdha time, when they are generally liberated from the chain of birth and death in the material world. Om ajnānatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum lalhate girim yat kripata maham vande Shri Gurum Jinataranam Yuntah pravishyam avachim avam prasuptam sanjivayati kila shakti darasvadamna anyam shahasta charana shravanat vagadin pranannamo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Hare Krishna. Today's verse is a continuation of the previous two verses, and this topic can be interesting for those who like to travel, because it deals with the topic of the 14 divisions of material creation. this is one of the most popular kind of enjoyment in the world is to travel. Normally people, they work very hard 11 months a year, at least in Western world, and for 1 month they have vacation. And they go here and there in different countries of the world. And what do? They just take some photos, pictures, that's all. And again, they come back to their countries, and again they work hard for 11 months. But here we are dealing not just with traveling, some mundane topic. No. In Srimad Bhagavatam there are 10 topics, 10 main topics. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanam uttayaha manvantareshanu katha nirodha muktirashrayaha. What distinguishes Srimad Bhagavatam from other Puranas, because Srimad Bhagavatam has 10 topics, whereas other Puranas normally have 5 topics. So one of these topics is called sthanam, and in the verse 2.10.1, sthanam is translated as planetary systems. And later on, in the 4th verse, it describes what is sthanam, what does it actually mean. And that verse is very, very interesting, but I will speak about it a little later. But first of all, what happened here? Yesterday in the previous verse it was described that Lord Brahma, he first divided the whole universe into the 3 parts. And Srila Prabhupada in his Purport, he says that there are 3 main parts of material creations. And later on it was not enough, because all the living entities have different propensions, different desires, and everyone is unique. Therefore, for each and every living entity there should be a proper space, proper place for living. So later on, Lord Brahma divided these 3 parts into 14th. But not also that, but Srila Vishwanath Chakravati Thakur, in the purport to the previous verse, he said that later on he divided even more. So, for example, let us just name all these 14 planetary systems, starting from the lower systems, from Satyaloka. We don't have any chart, but you can imagine. Patala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Sutala, Vitala, Atala. These 7 are the lower planetary systems. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada, he called them Patala Lokas, general term for all of them. Then above them, there are 7 higher planetary systems. First of all, Bhurloka. We are there in Bhurloka, and then Bhuvarloka, then Svarloka. Bhur, Bhuvar, Svar. But after Svarloka, there are 4 more planetary systems. They are called Mahar Loka, Jana Loka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So there are 14. But actually, in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself, there are different terms. So sometimes there is a confusion between devotees how to understand what is Svarloka. Is it only the planet where Indra is ruling, or Svarloka includes also the higher planets? So the answer for that it's from Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 2nd canto. My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the waist. The second, Vitala, is situated on the thighs. The third, Sutala, on the knees. The fourth, Talatala, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatala, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh, Patala, on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. So we are dealing that not just with some mundane topic, but actually in the second canto of Bhagavatam, in the very first chapter, it is described that this material universe is one of the forms of the Supreme Lord. But it's not true form. So it's just imaginary form for those who cannot appreciate the personal form of Krishna, Rama, Varaha, Nrisimha. They cannot understand. They are not ready yet to meditate on the personal form of the Lord. Therefore, they are advised to meditate on the universal form. And now, also, Damodara Mass is going on, and during Damodara Mass, just recently, I came to know that Lord Shri Krishna, he twice showed his universal form to Mother Yashoda, just twice. Later on, before the Kurukshetra battle, he showed first his universal form to Duryodhana, when he was trying to pacify the Kauravas and to prevent the war. Duryodhana was trying to catch Krishna, to arrest him, but Krishna showed to him his universal form. Duryodhana didn't understand anything, just Krishna left. And just before the battle on Kurukshetra, Lord Shri Krishna, he gave special darshan to Arjuna. And it's beautifully described in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, the universal form. So this universal form is presented also in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto. And so this is divine topic. And in the next verse, it is said, so some saints, some sadhus, they say that there are 14 divisions of material creations. But others may divide the whole planetary system into the 3 divisions, namely the lower planetary systems, the middle planetary systems, and the upper planetary systems, from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. So what is called lower planetary systems can be united with Bhur-loka, and all these 7 plus Bhur-loka, they are called Bhur. Then Bhuvar planetary system is Bhuvar, and starting from Svarga-loka up to the Brahmā-loka, all these systems are also can be called Svarga. So just different terms. So what is the use of discussing this topic? Actually, in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada states, gives us very valuable information that in the higher planetary systems, there is no sufferings from devastation. So they exist even during the night of Lord Brahmā. And when I was preparing to the class, I wanted to understand how is life in these upper planetary systems, because generally we know that in the heavenly planets, life is not very peaceful also, because there are a lot of quarrels between the demigods and demons. But these upper planetary systems, this is something different. So we have sources of knowledge. So those of us who like to travel and maybe we are curious to know how life is going on other planetary systems, we can approach Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, and we can approach also Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Brihad Bhagavatamrita contains very elaborate descriptions of the upper planetary systems, starting from Svarga-loka. So, because today the topic is about these planetary systems, I decided to just give some information about all the systems which exist in the universe. But actually, there are not only 14 planetary systems. Below the lowest planet, Satyaloka, there is also one region. It is called hellish planets, and descriptions of that are given in the very end of the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So below Satyaloka there are 28, not 28, but description is given of the 28 planetary systems, planets in Bhagavatam. But also at the end it is said that there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets in the universe. And also the abode of Lord Yama, Yamaraj, is also somewhere below the Patala-loka, it is stated. Pitri-loka is above the Patala-loka. So we don't need to read the descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam about the hellish planets. Recently I also read 5th canto, and these descriptions are not very impressive because it's difficult to relate to our lives. These sufferings, somewhere there is some sufferings, but actually we are in a unique planet, Earth, and in this planet there are different conditions of life. And hellish life is also present on Earth when the wars are going on. This is like hell, and it's better not to know what is going on there. But starting from Patala-loka, just in one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very short and beautiful descriptions. 5.24.8. In these 7 planetary systems, which are also known as the subterranean heavens, Bilasvarga, there are very beautiful houses, gardens, and places of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets, because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure, wealth, and influence. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as Daityas, Danavas, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives, children, friends, and society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness. Thus, they are understood to be very attached to illusory happiness. So it's like heavenly planets below Earth. So not very attractive. This is Burloka, lower planetary systems. What about Martya-loka? Bhuvara-loka is also called Martya-loka. And in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Urdhvam gacchati sattva-stha, madhya tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya guta vritti-stha, adho gachanti tamasaha. Those who live in Rajaguna, after death they will go to, or they will remain in the middle planetary systems, known as Burloka, Bhuvar-loka. So we are on Earth. So what can I mention? That on Bhuvar-loka there is a abode of Lord Vamanadeva, and not very enjoyable places, but also not much suffering is there. But what is above our planet? So first of all, there is Svarga-loka, and Gopakumara, he traveled in all these realms. Svarga-loka, we know from Bhagavatam, Indra, he has some dealings with his wives, other demigods, fighting constantly is going on before demons and demigods. So even from Bhagavatam we can understand that that place is not very attractive. But what is above Svarga-loka, this is something. So Gopakumara traveled there, and the description is very beautifully given in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in the edition given by Srimad Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu, very attractive. Shri Brihaspati said, above this realm shines the world called Mahār-loka, attainable through the best of pious works. Even when the 3 worlds are annihilated, that world is not destroyed. And in the purport it is said, as difficult as it is for ordinary mortals to enter heaven, the requirements for entering Mahār-loka are even more stringent. So Mahār-loka is a abode of sacrifices. Those people who reside there, they perform sacrifices, and they are rishis, great rishis, great sages. Prajapatis reside there, and there is no suffering. But the only suffering comes when night of Brahma appears. So it becomes very hot there. And all the residents of Mahār-loka, they go to even upper planetary systems like Jana-loka or Tapa-loka. So we experience it also in India, in Mayapur. In April and May it becomes very hot. And some devotees, they go to other regions, maybe to Darjeeling. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he recommended to his brahmacharis who could not tolerate the heat during summer time, he sent them to Darjeeling. But those who can, more or less we can tolerate the heat in Mayapur, and therefore we are here. But if you are in Maharloka, no, you cannot tolerate. Therefore you will have to go higher. And above the Maharloka is Janaloka. And Janaloka, very short description is given, not very interesting place, because Gopakumara, he went there, but it was night of Brahmā, and the Lord was not seen there. During night time, the Lord was not seen, so Gopakumara was not interested in residing there. So he went to Jagannath Puri on earth. That was one of his best abodes, one of the most favorite abodes of Gopakumara is Jagannath Puri. As soon as he was unable to see the Lord on some planet, he decided to go to Jagannath Puri. And above Janaloka there is Tapaloka. So Tapaloka is a residence of 4 Kumaras. Kumaras are also an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and that world is attainable only by unbroken celibacy. So it's difficult to go there, but for devotees of the Lord, nothing is impossible. So Srila Prabhupada was once preaching to the devotees, and it is said how important is to keep brahmacharya. And then he looked on faces of his disciples. Then he said, if you chant Hare Krishna, it's also everything will be okay. So if you chant Hare Krishna, we will be also to. We can also go to Tapaloka if you want. So place of unbroken celibacy. So how do devotees worship Lord there? They worship the Lord through meditation. Gopakumara at first he was trying to find the Lord physically, but he was unable to do so. And other residents of Tapaloka explained to him, no, this is not the way to see the Lord. Even from Shastras we know that even the Lord can be present before us. We may not be able to appreciate it. In Navadvip, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, not everyone was able to recognize him actually. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Aham prakashak sarvasya loka, Aham prakashak sarvasya yogamaya samāhṛtaḥ murdhayam abhijanati lokamam ajamaviyam. I never reveal himself to fools. Therefore it's very difficult. So Gopakumara started meditation, and he was able to see the Lord in meditation. Therefore, after some time, the residents, they saw this boy, Gopakumara, he is a Vaishya, just simple cowherd boy from Vaishya family. Let us give him initiation, and let us give him Brahminical thread, so he will be able to serve here properly. But as soon as Gopakumara heard about that, he declined, because this is very instructive to us. Because he said, now I am a simple boy, and being a Vaishya, I can serve Brahmanas. And he was very happy to serve Brahmanas. But if I myself become a Brahmana, so how can I remain simple-hearted? It will be very difficult for me. Normally, we want to have some position in our society, some position, some title. During Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time, it was a custom to give titles to some advanced disciples. Bhakti Sudhakar, Bhakti Ranjana, we have titles. Our own Srila Prabhupada got the title Bhaktivedanta, Bhakti Shastri. We don't have such titles. Maybe it's good for us. But actually, from reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we can be in touch with the mood of a pure devotee. And it's an example, very inspiring example for all of us. What does it mean to be pure devotee? He didn't have any desire for prestige and fame. No, he just wanted to serve Brahmanas. Therefore, he decided to leave, to escape that place as soon as possible. So he went to Satyaloka. And Satyaloka, it was very, very opulent place. Lord Brahmā was worshipping the Lord who was residing there, and happiness was unlimited happiness. And in all these four higher planetary divisions, there is one specific characteristic. There is no quarrels at all. No quarrels, no fightings, no disturbances. The only pain which devotees experience there is sometimes the Lord is not manifested. Sometimes association with the Lord is not available. That is the only source of misery. Otherwise, these places are very auspicious, very enjoyable. So, but Gopakumara was not satisfied. So this is only material universe. But what is above? Above there are 7 or 8 or 10 coverings of the universe. Different shastras give different numbers of coverings of the universe, and they are not empty also. Lord is being worshipped there also as well, in each and every realm. And above that, there is a spiritual sky where are innumerable planets of Vaikuntha, and the most advanced, the most exalted planets are Ayodhya and Mathura. We know it from Upadeshamrita. In the last verses, there is a gradation of different realms. Vaikuntha janito varamurupuri tatra pirasot sadat, etc. So the highest, what is the highest abode? There is Vaikuntha, Goloka, Goloka, not only Goloka, but in Goloka, actually Vrindavan, Vrajapura. In Vrajapura, the most auspicious place, the most exalted is Govardhan, Radhakund. Govardhan, then Radhakund. So these places are most exalted. But what do we have? There is a description of planetary systems in this world, but the highest abode is Goloka Vrindavana, and it's available on earth also. It's available on earth, and we are very fortunate to be here in Sridham Mayapur. So gradation is very different, very interesting, because the highest realm is here. Technically, we are on Burloka, but it's one of the offenses, one of the 10 offenses of the holy Dhamma to think that we are somewhere in material world. Not like that. And actually Shastra, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, he glorifies this place and this time, Kali Yuga. Kalim sabajaya charya gunagyah sarabhaginaha plavam sankirtane naiva sarvasvartho bilabhyate. Learned sages, they know the glories of Kali Yuga, and they glorify this age, because plavam sankirtane naiva sarvasvartho bilabhyate. By performing sankirtan yagya, we can attain everything. Kalir dosha nidhe rajan astihyeka mahan gunaha kirtanateva krishnasya mukta sangah param vrajet. Again, this Kali Yuga is abode of miseries, abode of sins and defects, but there is only one good quality. This is Sankirtana Yagya. This opportunity was given to us by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And actually, if we meditate on this verse, we can understand what is our goal, what should we do being in this world. We are very fortunate because now we are in Sridham Mayapur. So Kali Yuga is glorious only because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And everything connected to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorious as well. His associates, his holy Dhamma, and the method he gave. Sankirtan Pravartak Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Sankirtan Bhaja, Sankirtan yagya tarbhaja say dhanya. Whoever joins this Sankirtan movement also becomes glorious and also becomes praiseworthy. So we have opportunity, but we also should use this opportunity. So in this story about Lord Brahma in the previous verses, what happened in the previous chapter? Lord Brahma was praying to get Shakti, to be empowered to create these universes. He was praying for blessings actually, for Ashirvad from Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna gave him Ashirvad. But sometimes we think that if we got blessings, it's sufficient. It's all in all, all in itself, all in itself. No, it's not like that. For example, now I'm reading again Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava, and there are biographies of the most prominent disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur are given. And it's amazing to read how much merciful Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was towards his disciples. There was one disciple, he just came to Mayapur. He just met with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Saraswati Thakur, he was able to understand who is who, and he gave him instruction. Now, your only business is, after breakfast, you come to my room and be with me. And after lunch, then go for lunch. After lunch, again come back. And your duty is just to listen Krishna Katha from me. That's all. And some devotees were awarded sannyasa just after 2 years. But in some cases, even during lifetime of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he rejected some of his disciples. How is that? He gave so much mercy to them. Or sometimes we go to some places in Gauromandal, and devotees there, they glorify their acharyas or their saints. They say, oh, you see, such and such devotee, he said, this devotee is very special, this is my favorite devotee. But this is not enough. So now we are present during Kartik month, Damodara Lila, and during Damodara Lila, what was going on? Mother Yashoda, she was trying to bind Krishna with ropes, but each time he took new rope, anyway it was not enough to bind Krishna. And 2 fingers, the size, the length of 2 fingers was not enough to bind Krishna. And our acharyas explained that, what is these 2 fingers? This is mercy of the Lord, Ashirvad, or blessings you can say, and this is also our endeavors. Therefore, in the 10th canto it is said, Svamatak svinagatraya visrasta kabarasra jaha vrištva parishramam Krishna kripayasit sabandhane. Only when Krishna, he saw how much endeavoring were Yashoda Mata, he led her to bind himself. Only when he saw parishrama, hard work. Therefore, blessings is not enough. We need to do hard work. And the best example of this is Lord Brahma here. And what is stated in this verse also, one more thought, that Lord Brahma, he was empowered by Krishna. So if we look at the verse, we can see that Lord Brahma was the best personality because he was very faithful. He was the best devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he was empowered by Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada was also empowered by Lord Krishna. And I started thinking, who is more exalted, Lord Brahma or Srila Prabhupada? Lord Brahma is also came to this world as Haridas Thakur. He was participating in Lord Chaitanya pastimes. And Srila Prabhupada was also participating at these pastimes. And Kali Kalera Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Paravartam. Without being empowered by Krishna, no one can distribute devotional service. And we can understand from that that Srila Prabhupada was the best, he is the best devotee of the Lord. His appearance was predicted in Sri Chaitanya Mangala, and he was empowered. Why? Because he had only one interest, the same interest that Krishna had. And actually, in Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th, the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is revealed. Where it is revealed? At the end, it was revealed by Lord Krishna himself. Lord Krishna asked Arjuna, Kachit agyana samohah pranashtaste dananjaya. So, my dear Arjuna, has your ignorance been dispelled? Did you come to your senses again? What will you do? And the essence of the Bhagavad Gita is revealed in the next verse, 73rd verse. Nashtamoha smritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta stitasmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. It is very interesting how Arjuna formulated his thoughts, his decision. He did not say that my desire is to serve you, my desire is to fight. No, he formulated it like that. I will follow you, I will perform your instructions. So this is the essence of spiritual life, to perform instructions of the Lord, to be submissive to Him, to perform His desires, to satisfy Himself. Therefore, before Bhagavatam, we often chant the two verses from the second chapter of Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. And in the translation, you can notice, before reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is essential to offer respect to Nara Narayana Rishi, the best of men. Single form. Why? Nara and Narayana, two personalities. Why single form? And the explanation is there because they have only one interest, Nara and Narayana, the devotee and the Lord. Practically, pure devotee and the Lord, they have only one interest. Therefore, they are inseparable from each other. And Srila Prabhupada didn't have any other interests. Therefore, he was empowered by Lord Krishna, by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread this movement. In the same way, we should not desire to become a sannyasi prematurely or whatever, to attain some higher position, because higher position is also high responsibility. If we are not ready, if we are not prepared, if we are not qualified, we can do a lot of harm to our society, to Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, best if we follow Guru, and Guru will empower us. Lord Krishna, through Guru, will empower us in a proper time to do certain things in devotional service, in our movement. So, in Bhagavatam, there is also one verse which describes the three categories of disciples. Uttamashtintitam kuryat proktakaritu madhyamaha adhama shradaya kuryat akarto charitam pituhu. There are three categories of disciples. The worst disciple is when Guru says to him, do something, he does not do. Useless disciple. Better disciple, when Guru says something, he does. Okay, I will do, Guru Maharaj. This is very good. There is very, very good standard for all of us. This is very good, actually. We can progress when we are on that level. But the highest level, this is, if we come to that level, so the doors to the spiritual world will be opened for us. Even before Guru says to us something, we know what to do. We know his desire. One example. 2 years back in Kolkata, a beautiful temple was opened on previously that place was called, this road was called Ultadanga Road. That place was called Ultadanga Junction Road. There is a place where our Srila Prabhupada met with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And during his first meeting, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him instruction. Preach Krishna consciousness in foreign countries in English language. I don't remember what exactly. All over the world in English. And Srila Prabhupada did this. But also, recently I came to know, I think maybe this is from the book of Srimati Mula Prakriti, but there are remembrances that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to give the same instruction to other disciples. Like also at present, our venerable gurus have many disciples. And I got opportunity, some small opportunity to be with Guru Maharaj, just on some festivals, because, you know, and a few times I heard how he was speaking with his disciples. And I also noticed that normally he gives same instructions for different people. For example, for brahmacharis, at first he can say the same instructions, but then they can change, he can change, etc. But it's open secret. So it was open secret for disciples, maybe not for all, but for some disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that he wanted Krishna consciousness to be preached in foreign countries in English language. But only Srila Prabhupada did this. And he himself said that because I had faith in the words of my Guru Maharaj. Therefore, this is a good example, for a very good instruction for all of us. We should come to that point that we can predict the desires of our Guru Maharaj and act like that. And by the mercy of Guru, we will get Krishna, yasya prasada nagatih kotopi. And yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. We will attain Krishna by getting blessings of Guru. So, Guru Tattva is the most important Tattva in our life. So we can take example from Lord Brahmā and be a good disciples. So, and at the beginning of the class, I said that this topic, sthiti, a first topic among the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, but okay, I cannot find anyway. Description is given in 2.10.4. Sthiti Vaikuntha Vijayah. What is Sthiti? Planetary systems. What is Sthiti actually? What is this topic about? Vaikuntha Vijaya. The victory of the Lord Vaikuntha. So what is this victory? A victory of the Lord Vaikuntha when we become submissive to his desires. And Srila Prabhupada states in his purport this thought. This will be the victory. Victory of helping us to come to the spiritual world. So, Lord Krishna will attain victory when all of us will come to the spiritual world. And Srila Prabhupada explains, so for that victory, we should channel our desires towards Krishna's desires. So this is very important definition, and actually it means that when we study all these topics about planetary systems, to which conclusion should we come? That we should surrender to Krishna and we should fulfill the desires of Krishna. So if we have some interest what's going on in other planets, we can read Bhagavatam and Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Again, Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sri Gopi Paranadhanam Prabhu is beautiful, very interesting. But we should come to the conclusion that Vrajadhama, Mayapur Dhama, they are present here, no need to go anywhere. And if we want to travel still, what can we do? there is a place for traveling in Krishna consciousness also. One option is you can become a sannyasi and you will be obliged to travel. And another possibility is, by mercy, actually, Srimati Radharani himself, she created this Navadipa Dhamma. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he decided to reveal himself in this land, and not only him, but also his eternal associates, the best devotees in the whole world, in the whole universe, in the whole creation. Six Goswamis, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushana, all the Guru Parampara, they are all the best devotees in the universe, and they also appeared here. And by Krishna's mercy, it's amazing that in Kali Yuga, everything is decreasing. And we cannot find even drinking water, it's very difficult. But still, there are many places of worship. And actually what's going on nowadays, because of the influence of ISKCON, I read in the book about Vrajamandala Parikrama that before Srila Prabhupada came with his disciples to Vraj, there were no newly constructed temples in Vrajadhama. But as soon as Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir appeared, nowadays also more and more temples are appearing. And the same is true for Gauramandal Bhumi. This is the influence of Srila Prabhupada. It was his desire, and before leaving this world, just 9 days before he left, he signed a document incorporating the Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust to preserve all the holy places in Gauramandal Bhumi. And it was desire of Srila Prabhupada. So you can see even in the purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada in many places he writes, he purposely put it in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. For example, the Shripad of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is situated here, and you can reach it by eastern railways, and you should get down at that station and take a toto, etc. So we can conclude that he wanted us to visit all these places. So by visiting these holy places in Gauramandal Bhumi, first we can get blessings by Srila Prabhupada, and second we can get blessings by all of these pure devotees. And maybe these blessings will be crucial in our spiritual life. So this is how can we utilize our desire for traveling in this spiritual world, in this world. So Hare Krishna, I will stop here. Yes.
Thank you so much for your elaborate description.
Not working.
Haribo? Haribo?
Yeah, we can hear
Haribo?
you. Yeah.
Yes, so I think you just forgot one point regarding Satyaloka. And the reason I bring that up is it's so misunderstood by the so-called Vedic people from the Vedic culture, because understanding Maheshtam, Maheshloka, Lord Shiva. So I think it behooves us, who will be devotees of ISKCON, who can dispel all the misunderstanding about Lord Shiva in his different forms. As you know, Satyaloka is in between the spiritual and material realm. And I want to congratulate you on your wonderful analysis and the class, and also regarding travel. You mentioned something like, oh, it's not necessary, but we can see Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda, they traveled by example. Of course, the Brajbasi wanted, and Krishna tricked them by bringing all the holy places right there in Vrindavan. So especially for Vanaprastha, it is recommended, but you also justified by saying all the holy places are here also. So I really want to thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if Krishna gives a chance, I would like to learn about Shiva-loka also. It's also available in Sri Brihad Bhagavatam if Krishna gives me a chance. Krishna. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Grantaraja Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.